Healthcare operates in a high-stakes, highly complex system where patient outcomes depend on many interdependent parts. While clinicians rely on years of experience and clinical intuition, these mental shortcuts can be overwhelmed by noisy data, fatigue, cognitive biases, and ever-changing evidence. Structured problem-solving offers a disciplined, data-driven framework to define the problem, map processes, gather relevant information, generate hypotheses, and test changes. By making the thinking process explicit, it helps teams align around a clear problem statement and avoid jumping to conclusions. Think of it like the theater production. The problem statement is the script, and the process mapping is the blocking that shows who does what and when. Hypotheses are the casting choices, trying different scenes and approaches to see what fits. Small experiments are rehearsals, where you test changes in a controlled way and gather cues and feedback. And implementation is the opening night, with ongoing performance monitoring and adjustments as needed. A well-coordinated cast, multidisciplinary teams for example, a clear stage manager, governance and standard work, and repeated rehearsals, continuous learning, ensure a safe, high-quality performance. Or if we come back to healthcare, consistent patient safety and care, rather than relying on improvised decisions. Let's listen to Jonathan Año Nuevo as he discusses why we need structured problem solving in healthcare.
And actually understanding what the true problem is, what the goal is, and what we've tried helps us get to that finish line a lot faster and more efficiently.
One common tool used in structured problem solving is A3 thinking. The tool itself is simply an 11 by 17 piece of paper. Its utility, though, is found in its layout. As project teams use the tool, they start at the header, making clear the problem they are trying to solve, the team involved, and when the document was last updated. They then work down the left side of the A3, documenting an agreed-upon problem statement, measures, goals, and root cause analysis. After the problem is well understood, the team can then move to the right side of the A3. This is where we start rehearsing, to use our theater metaphor, or testing changes to address the root causes we identified on the left side. With each test, we identify owners and due dates to ensure clarity and alignment. Finally, at the end of the project, after we've identified which tests work best, we document our sustain plan, which details the new activities that need to continue for the project to be successful, with owners and measures that help us monitor success.
I think the most important lesson learned for any A3 is that we have to communicate that it is a living document. It may not be perfect during that first round, during that first draft. And as we uncover more throughout the problem-solving project, that's where we can really start leveraging the A3 to help us understand how to fill in the gaps.
The layout of the A3 is pretty intuitive, but the discipline required when a team is using it is what's important. It's about going out to see the work, talking to people as you decide on a concise problem statement, or identifying the vital few root causes to work on. It's the back and forth, the documenting, the erasing, and the rewriting. Here are some things to consider. First, remember it's a tool, a means to a desired outcome. Don't get locked into making it look perfect and forget the problem you're trying to solve. The desired outcome is not a nice A3, it is improved patient care. You can use A3 thinking without using the A3 piece of paper. Second, always start with the header and ensure you have the right people on your team to fully represent the problem at hand. Working with the wrong people will lead to incomplete problem statements and misdirected goals. Third, much like the theater where we have a script before going to rehearsal, we don't move to the right side of the A3 until completing the left side. The left side defines the script, or the parameters of where our project is and where to focus on during rehearsal. And finally, A3 thinking makes it easier to do the right thing reliably for our patients and teams. To make this point clear, let's discuss the word reliability. Reliability defined is the quality of performing consistently well. If we think about the theater during rehearsal, backstage teams are working hard to ensure props and backgrounds and music and lights all perform reliably for each performance. They build in standard work on how to move props to and from the stage, lines in the floor to place things consistently in the right position, and even backup plans when staff members are absent. When using A3 thinking, we must ensure the new activities developed to improve care are set up to reliably occur every time. To assist with this, We review the ideas being tested and assign them reliability levels, 1, 2, or 3. 3 is assigned to ideas that have the potential to be the most reliable. 1 is the least reliable. This figure shows examples of each. Level 1 ideas include things like giving people feedback, posting signs, or providing a training. Although these may be good ideas to improve care, on their own they will not sustain. They need help. Level 2 ideas include redesigning a process with embedded process steps, such as a new care pathway, order set, or process to follow an electronic medical record. Level 3 ideas automatically happen. They have replaced the old process completely, and there are constraints built in, so you can't go back to the old ways. Level 3 ideas won't be achieved for every project you work on, but remember, if we want improvements to sustain, Level 3 ideas have the highest likelihood of doing so. To help illustrate some of these concepts, take note of T.C. Cowell's learnings as he used structured problem solving in his own area.
Specifically, one that comes to mind is the last several years we've seen an increase in medications that require prior authorizations. So we were seeing delays with turnaround times, but also most importantly, our patients were not receiving the medications within a reasonable time period due to the process for submitting for authorization. So when we first kicked off, we were seeing an average approval rating around 50 to 60% of all initial authorization requests were getting approved. After we created a centralized model with a cohort of 3 full-time individuals, we saw that increase to about 85% to initial authorization. In addition, the turnaround time became faster.
Remember that Ready to Improve is about using methods and tools that help us approach and address problems more effectively. Structured problem solving is organized and documented using an A3, and when used well, it can help us develop highly reliable solutions and processes. In the end, helping us all become a higher quality and safer place for patients and families.